Been a long time. Been a long time. What up, y'all? Been a long time. What is happening? Let me know if everything sounds good. Is the music too loud? Is I'm too low? Too loud? Uh, I'll turn the music down just a little bit more. And what is up, y'all? Happy New Year. Uh, all right, we sound good. Cool. Cito, the Brayton Bunch, PC, Fast Lane. What's good, y'all? Um, yes, it's a lot to talk about. I wanted to wait until the new year to start talking about what's been going on during the off season. Um, yeah. Um, I had a good Christmas. How was y'all Christmas and how's y'all New Year's been going so far? Like, are y'all starting off the new year pretty good? Uh, is it's 2026. Hopefully everybody is off to a good start. So, um, my Christmas was pretty good. New Year's was pretty good. Actually, New Year's was pretty boring. New Year's Eve, I fell asleep before midnight, so because I was too damn tired, didn't want to stay up. Well, I wanted to stay up, but I had to work in the morning, so I just said, "Man, I'm out." I couldn't do it, so I didn't. I usually don't have any big plans for New Year's Eve. I'm not the one to drink and all that, so yeah, call me boring, but um, I just try to make it to midnight and then I'm taking my ass to bed because I don't know because I'm just getting older or what, but um, but yeah, it was pretty decent. The holidays was pretty good for the most part. Um, oh, that's good, y'all feel like y'all had a pretty good time with y'all Christmases and ringing in the new year. So that's what's up. That is what's up. I always like to hear that. Um, so as Cody Rhodes will say, what do you guys want to talk about? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's a WWE wrestler. But yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Because we can talk about a couple of things. Actually, it's quite a bit to talk about. A lot of depressing stuff, unfortunately. A lot of stuff that is gonna make you mad. You got the lawsuit that we could talk about. We got the truck series and the Ram confirming some of their drivers like Justin Haley and Brandon Queen and Daniel Dye. Unfortunately, and this is gonna be the toughest to get through tonight, is Biffle passing away and his family. I guess we'll start off with this and man, I don't even know how to start this off because um I was at work when this news broke and man, I was messed up for the rest of the day. I damn near had tears in my eyes and it was raining out and I didn't know how to break the news to my dad because my dad is a huge Sterling Marlin fan and a great Biffle fan. And back in the day when Biffle, especially when he was like at his prime, my dad would come into the room and he would be like, "Here comes the Biff," and just have this smirk on his face. And it was that was his guy. And so when I broke the news to him, I was just devastated. He was sad about it. Um, yeah, this messed me up. It messed everybody up, but it messed me up because it wasn't just Biffle that ended up passing away in that plane accident, it was also his wife and his kids, and it reminded me so much of the whole Kobe deal that happened um some years ago. So it's one thing if it's just one person, but when it's like an entire family, and not to mention other people that's on board, like it just hits so much more harder. So um yes, rest in peace, Greg Biffle and the entire Greg Biffle family that was on board, his children. I seen some of his YouTube videos pop up. And I was already watching some of his YouTube videos before that, but it's just so hard to just watch those videos now, man, because you just get emotional just watching them. I mean, they just seem so happy and just. I think the last video they posted was they was going tree shopping, and it was just devastating. Like you can't even get through the video without like getting emotional. So yeah, rest in peace to Greg Biffle. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot of tributes this year. Um what's up, Rack? Um yes, Michael Annette, uh Denny Hamlin's dad. I was gonna get to that in a minute. The Michael Annette, it all started with the Michael Annette passing away. And then the Biffle news, and then Denny's dad, him and his parents get having a fire, and um I hope Denny mom is healing up well, and unfortunately Denny's dad couldn't make it. So it's been a crazy year. 2025 was full of like, I wouldn't say ups and downs with Denny Hamlin. I guess you could say that, but man, like the lawsuit, how the way he lost the championship, um, this tragic news, this tragedy that he had to suffer, um, just so much, man, that he's had to deal with this year, and I don't know how he's gonna mentally focus going into the 2026 season. I mean, I know Denny is usually a guy that back in the day he really wasn't, but nowadays he can handle the pressure pretty well. He doesn't really get phased by anything anymore. But this is different. This is his dad, and um I mean, you could just, when he lost that championship, you could just see the sadness in his eyes, like in the at the banquet. I mean, he just looked depressed. So I don't think he's gonna retire early. I know some people was kind of speculating about that. I think he's too loyal to Joe Gibbs, and I just think that he's gonna feel his obligation to just drive until 2027, and I think that's gonna be it for him. I think even if he does end up having a couple of good seasons, I still think that he's gonna call it quits. But you just never know. I mean, I would love for Denny to go until he's like 50, 51, pull some Mark Martin, Harry Gant type of stuff. But I don't think he's gonna do it. Um, yeah, even people that don't like Hamlin, they feel for him. I'll spoil one of my predictions. I got a predictions video coming the week after next. And one of my predictions is that I think Denny Hamlin is going to start getting cheered this year. I think that he's still going to get some boos, but I think those cheers are going to overshadow those boos. So, he's turning into a baby face now. If you watch wrestling, you understand what I'm saying, but he's not going to become like a Chase Elliott type to where he's getting cheered, or Kyle Larson, but he's gonna get some cheers this year. I think all of the things that has happened to Denny Hamlin has made fans have sympathy for him, and I think that it's gonna, you're gonna hear it this year. So, I mean, it already kind of started, with that race last year, the championship race where he was going for the championship. even you had people that had their favorite drivers in the championship four, like, that was pulling for Hamlin. That I was hearing Larson fans say, like, hey, I want Larson to get another one, but I'm rooting for Denny. Same thing with Byron fans and Briscoe fans. They were saying that they want Hamlin to get it. It just seemed like that he had everybody rooting for him, which is, if you was to say this to somebody like just 4 or 5 years ago, they will look at you crazy, but that actually happened. So I think that he's gonna become a somewhat of a fan favorite this year. So, and it's crazy because we kind of seen this with Kyle Busch when he went to RCR, and now we're going to see it with Hamlin now, and these are like the two biggest villains in NASCAR over the past like decade. So who's going to step up and be that next big villain in NASCAR? Maybe Carson Hocevar. I don't know. I want Denny to go out with a championship. I wouldn't mind it as well, man. Like, 60. Well, you got 60 career wins, but even if he don't, man, I don't want people to give him shit for it. Like, they don't give Mark Martin shit for it. If anything, people, they get depressed anytime Mark Martin and championship are in the same sentence. So if I was Denny, I would pull a 2016 Carl Edwards and call it the career. I don't think he's gonna do that. Like I said, I think he's gonna, finish his contract out with Joe Gibbs, and then he'll probably call it quits. I think it comes down to what NASCAR is going to do with the format as well. I think that if they go to something much more legitimate, and we'll get to the championship format stuff later in the stream. If he ends up I forgot to switch it to this when I started talking about Hamlin. But yeah, if they go to something much more legitimate, I think he'll probably stay around, who knows, till probably 2028 or whatever. So Austin Sullivan, any updates on the Michael Watcher video? Is coming in a few more days. I was actually just working on it before I went live. It's coming out in a few more days, man. Real talk. I'm not bullshitting. Because I know I do this thing to where, like, I'm like, yeah, the video is coming on this day, and then that day comes and it's not out. So but I usually do that before I record, and I don't know why I do that. Probably because I get so excited about an upcoming project, and then next thing you know, I just kind of just put it out there anyway. But I'm trying to do this thing to where, like, once I'm into the editing phase of the video, then I'll start to put like a date out there, especially if I'm almost done, because I'm almost done with this video. I got like 2 or 3 more minutes left of editing, and then I can upload it. So it'll probably be out maybe Tuesday. If not Tuesday, look out for it Wednesday. And then my next video is going to be the predictions video, 2026 predictions. I would be surprised if Denny kept racing more than another 2 seasons. I want him to, man. Like, I think it would be. I always wanted to see somebody go into their 50s and be competitive. We haven't seen anybody like that since Mark Martin. Yeah, I think before Mark Martin, it was Dale Earnhardt, but that was cut short, unfortunately. What if, man? What up, man? What is up? I will retire after everything he went through. He's got nothing to prove. The format will remain a joke unless it's full season points. Yeah, you right. Like, he doesn't have anything left to prove. Like, he won the Coke 600. He's got multiple Daytona 500s. He's 60 career wins. He's Southern 500 win, Bristol night race win. Everything that you can think of, he has, except for a championship. And I think not having a championship nowadays isn't really a terrible thing, because of how, it's not valued as it used to be, the championship. So Unless they go back to something legitimate, um, it doesn't really matter. As crazy as that sound. Um, but yeah, man, like I feel for Denny though. Um, I'm just hoping that he's doing all right. And I want him to kick ass this season, man. I want him to, you know, go out there and get some more wins and just continue to climb up the all times wins list. I do think he's gonna pass Kyle Bush this year. And if that tells you anything, I'm pretty much saying that Kyle Bush is not gonna do anything once again this season. So yeah. I want to cover the lawsuit because trust me, I was very sick of it throughout this whole uh following it and everything. I think now they settled, but I still think that it was a loser at the end, and the loser was NASCAR. This was a PR nightmare for them. Everything that was coming out, they had to open their books. They was making themselves look really bad throughout this trial, and you know you going into the office, you just came off of like a season of like full of lows, and then you go on this trial, and all of this stuff is coming out, and a lot of this stuff we kind of had a feeling about for so many years, and then you see all these text messages that are being leaked. Steve O'Donnell and all these other NASCAR executives, talking shit, just talking in such a disrespectful manner to these owners, and they feel threatened by the SRX and all this other shit. I mean, these dudes are fucking clowns, yo. And it's just, we all had the suspicion of NASCAR being like this, the leadership being like this for so many years. But, we got the evidence finally came out, and, turns out we were all right. So, I have no trust in the current leadership at all. Steve Phelps, he needs to go. Steve O'Donnell needs to go. I was kind of shocked that Jeff Gluck ended up saying something like, yeah, I can understand why Steve Phelps, you guys want to see Steve Phelps gone, but why Steve O'Donnell? And I'm like, what do you mean, why Steve O'Donnell? Like, the dude that's responsible for the caution clock, and then later on stages, the guy that played a role in the knockout style format, he led the charge with the Gen 7 car and what direction they was gonna go. Like, all this shit, man. He's had he's been a part of. So if anything, I feel like he's worse than Steve Phelps. So, and I get it, they handle two different their operations is different. Like, they handle different things and within the sport, but O'Donnell, he's always handled the competition side, while Steve Phelps has handled the business side throughout the years. So yeah, I just at the end of the day, I think that NASCAR, they took the L. It was a settlement, but NASCAR came away with the L at the end of the day. And I didn't go into this lawsuit, I didn't go into this trial and thinking, yeah, if 2311 Front Row wins this, wins this shit, the fans win. No, I didn't think that at all. I knew that regardless of what happened, nothing was going to change, regarding us, like things that we care about. This is all about business at the end of the day and trying to get money. And so they got what they want, apparently. Talk about 2311, and the teams and all that, but um even though like it's not happy joy time, like we still don't know what the championship format is going to be. We care about the racing on the track and how a champion is going to be determined. Now, yes, I do care about the business side of the sport too, because you want the teams to be healthy. If the teams are not healthy, then the sport is going to be in trouble. So, um, you know, so this is good. I just want NASCAR to start attacking the things that the fans want to see. And what we want to see is better racing and a better championship format, a much better championship format. So yeah, the lawsuit was it was irritating to follow, but it's just funny too how all the NASCAR shills, and I said I was gonna leave the NASCAR shills in 2025, but I just want to bring them up for a moment. A lot of them were quiet throughout this whole thing, and then the settlement happened, and then you got people on Sirius XM radio talking about how like NASCAR, making it seem like NASCAR came away with the W, and really they didn't. So I thought that was kind of funny. You had Sirius XM and Mama and all them. They were all quiet, and then the settlement happened, and they tried to come out and say like, "Oh, NASCAR, they won." Like, no, they didn't. So I thought that was kind of funny. Uh, Iceman, what's up? Harry Gant and Mark Martin are goated despite never winning championships. I agree. Uh, Fingers crossed for full season points. I'm gonna get into the championship format in a minute. Even Kyle Larson before 2025 said that it made no difference to him if he won the title or not, or how he viewed his season. Yeah, even he was kind of like baffled of how he won the championship, which is why I don't think he celebrated. I mean, he celebrated, but he didn't celebrate it, the way that he celebrated his first title, because, it was kind of, he scored the most points. He's a legit champion because of that. But under the format, under the rules that they had, like, he kind of, the championship was, pulled from Hamlin just out of nowhere. So it was his race to win, his championship to win, and he lost, unfortunately. At the same time, kind of, I got mixed feelings on that whole thing. Like, fought the championship format, but I was super happy Larson won, but I was devastated for Denny, especially when they showed his end car and he was just kind of looking to the side. I was like, damn, man, like, this dude cannot catch a break. 2011 version of the chase for 2026. Full season points, man. Full season points. I'm tired of playoffs. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. If Denny only races through 2027, then I think he can surpass Kyle Busch, but that would be it. I don't think he has enough time to catch and pass Earnhardt. Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna pass Earnhardt for a while. Unless Denny just, man, unless he goes on another run this year of getting like 6 wins, and then he gets like another 6 wins next year. I think if he surprises himself, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if he gets like 5 or 6 wins this year, and then he goes out and get like 4 or 5 wins next year, that's gonna put him into the that's gonna put him near Earnhardt. And the big question is gonna be, is he gonna want to chase after that? Because then it starts to become realistic. Another milestone or accomplishment that Denny can chase after is 100 NASCAR wins in total. And this is like across the top 3 series. I remember Breakar was talking about this, and he said, I think he's at, where's he at? I think 88, 89. Somebody, I'm pretty sure one of y'all was saying in the chat, he's somewhere near 100 NASCAR wins. Yeah, I just wonder if he's going to go after that. He doesn't seem that interested in running the Xfinity cars these days. But I say that, and I should have listed this as one of the topics. NASCAR, they gonna expand the how many races a cup driver can do in the lower series, and which is stupid. I don't think it's gonna be out of control like how it was from '05 to like 2016, but I do think it's gonna be a lot more leeching this year, and you're gonna see less regulars. The regulars are gonna have less wins. It's gonna look like the early 2010s, sorta. And not to mention, I don't see anybody that's generational right now, like a Corey Haim and Connor Zilish that can take it to the Cup guys. Um, Maybe Allgaier from time to time. Um, yeah, I just don't see anybody coming up right now that's on that Zilish and Haim level. And it's insane. I know I'm all over the place right now, but it's insane that Corey Haim does not have a fucking ride for this year. Like nothing hasn't been announced. Insane. Who will step up to be the next big villain? Well, you got Logano. Yeah, I forgot about him. Oh yeah. What's y'all thoughts on Logano being bald now? I know that's kind of random, but it's like when I think of Logano now, I don't think about nothing else besides that new appearance he got. He looks like, you know what's crazy about Logano? He actually looks like a villain now with that haircut. Of him being bald now. He got the beard, he's bald. It seems like he's kind of dressing a little bit different too. Like he got like a heelish type look going on now. So yeah, I think I thought that was kind of funny when he needs to keep it. That's just my opinion, but yeah. What if them being scared of Chase Elliott's number 9 font and SRX looking like the Cup card number was hilarious? Yeah, like that's one of the things that they was just making themselves look so bad, yo. They was making themselves look so freaking bad. I'm just sitting there looking like, man, like these motherfuckers, like they, I mean, they were just saying anything, and I'm just glad it's over. Unfortunately, they are still at the helm and all that, but things could change. I wouldn't hate these executives. They could just do like 2 things, man, or 2 or 3 things, and I wouldn't hate them. But you know, as it stands right now, I'm gonna hate them until they do these, you know, until they change what I want to see. So, and I'm gonna get to that. Matter of fact, fuck it, I'll just get to it now because I've been prolonging it. So, the points, the point system. I know there's certain people. I became the full season points. I ain't gonna say leader, but I feel like that a lot of my tweets in 2025 was regarding the points format. And I know some people got tired of it and they probably blocked me or whatever. They probably muted me. Ooh, go ahead and do that. I don't care. I can kind of understand. And then there's people that want me to continue to make noise about it and stuff. So, yeah, I'm not gonna stop until they announce something, until they, I'm preparing them for them to not go with it. And if they don't, I won't totally lose my mind if they do like a 10 race chase and they just give the regular season winner like a big, points lead to start off the chase. But I thought about that and it's like, why would they do that? Say for example, there's a tight points battle going on during the regular season and somebody wins the regular season title by like 2 or 3 points. and then all of a sudden they get this 40-point cushion over second to start off the chase. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't make sense. So that's what I'm saying. Even when you do stuff like that, it just proves that we don't need to be doing playoffs at all, man. Like, I don't want the points to be reset. You know, another thing about this whole full season points thing is you seeing it right here. Chris Rice says that full season points doesn't fit younger fans. And all I gotta say to that is people like Chris Rice, Kenny Wallace, and all these other people, they are out of touch. They don't know what the young people want. They are not in tune of what we, they're not in tune with the young people. Last time I checked, you look at Formula One and their demographic is pretty young. Like they got a good, they got a good, what I'm trying to say, my bad. Like they got a lot of young people that watch F1. It's a lot of young people that watch F1. And that 18 to 40, I forgot, demo, NASCAR is struggling trying to, obtain those fans. So, and F1, they run a full season points format. Now the points format is not the reason why, F1 has blew up over the past couple of years. It's other factors, but they do run a full season point system, and I don't hear people complaining about the point system over there. So IndyCar, they just had a huge ratings boost, and they run a full season point system. Mind you, Alex Palou ran away with the title. I think he clinched it with like 2 races to go or something like that. Dominated the season. Yet IndyCar just experienced, the biggest ratings they had in years. So, you end up seeing quotes like this from Chris Rice, you just shake your head because it just frustrates me how out of touch these people are, man. It's too many old people. Not just, it's old people that watch NASCAR that makes up a good chunk of the the fan base. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because these people are going to start dying off. Not trying to sound morbid, but it's true. But it's a lot of old people in the media, man, in the NASCAR media that don't know what they're talking about. Larry Mack at this point, Chris Rice, Kenny Wallace, Dave Moody, so many of these people, they don't know what they're talking about, man. They think they know what we want, and they couldn't be more wrong. So, like, I'm in my 20s. I want full season points. It's other people that's around my age that wants full season points. So, they just assuming that, the younger crowd isn't going to tune in or isn't going to be interested in the championship if they go with full season points. And it frustrates me so much. And they're probably, and some of these people are probably part of that committee, and they're probably yelling this to NASCAR, and NASCAR is buying into it. They probably buying into what these people are saying. Because I don't think NASCAR has their ear, they not listening to us. I don't think they really care anyway. I don't know, man. It's crazy. My bad. I'm catching up on the chat. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just hate that. And then you got people saying that, like, oh, this was never going to be, full season points. Didn't even have a chance to begin with. Yes and no. Like when Junior, I've been keeping up with this. Like Junior, he's part of the committee. He said that at first, people wasn't even bringing up full season points. Then he went to another meeting and it jumped up big time. And then you started seeing these quotes from Brad Keselowski, Richard Petty, Carson Hocevar, um, Chris Buescher, just so many people in the industry, Jeff Gluck, everybody like just pushing for full season points. And it picked up a lot of steam and it got to the point to where it's at the top. I'm not making this up. It's at the top. It's not like that. It's a close race between a 10 race chase and the full season points. Now, don't get me wrong. Like a 10 race chase is it's there, but it's not as close as people making it out to be. So, like every poll that I see, all these quotes that I see from people in the industry, just listen to people, man. They don't got to get rid of stages. They don't got to do anything to the car this year. If they could just go to full season points format, go to a full season points format, like man, y'all don't know how. I have no idea how happy I would be. The championship, yes, the points format isn't everything. I get that, but it's one of two things that's like ultra important in NASCAR: the racing and the points format. It's the meat and potatoes. You got to have these things right. I think these are the two things that people have complained about the most over the past decade. The car, I can kind of understand because, it costs money to like make changes to the car, but the points format, you can just do that anytime. And they haven't even bothered to change it. So, man, let me stop my tangent real quick. Let me catch up on what y'all saying. Cause man, like I'm gonna keep going. Nat Matty D, what's up? What up? NASCAR leadership is so disconnected from fans to the fact we were called bots by Mike Ford last year. Yep. And then he tried to backtrack on that. I wonder if NASCAR will look like I wonder if NASCAR would look like if the sport was sold to Elon Musk or David Elson. I don't know how to feel about that either. Keeping charters was a terrible decision. They never needed charters. They could have just given teams more money and left it at that. I think a lot of teams they want the charters so that way, whenever they want to exit from the sport, they can have what I'm trying to say is they can sell their stake, whatever, and they won't go out. They can go out pretty much. I don't know, wealthy is what I'm trying to say. So I think that's why they want the charters. I think Denny talked about it before on the podcast. I don't like the charters either, but I've kind of just accepted it at this point. They're not going anywhere, so they're too ingrained into NASCAR. Unfortunately, if the charter system was gone, that would hurt teams. That would hurt the teams more. That's what I'm saying. Like I think it's too ingrained to where like if they try to get rid of it now, it's gonna just fuck everything up. I think. I don't think they shouldn't have done it to begin with. I think they introduced the charter system back in 2016 or something like that. Mamba, that's sports, Smith. Man, I'm so glad his ass been quiet this year, but you already know he's gonna start back up soon, especially when the points format gets revealed. It has to be 36 and only 36. Exactly. Christian Eckers, maybe now that he's back in trucks. Are you talking about like who can take on the Cup guys? Maybe because Christian Eckers he did beat Kyle Busch a couple of years ago. Now Kyle Busch is not the same guy that he was a couple of years ago, so it's easier to beat him in the truck series now. So, but I'm talking about like when guys like Larson and Byron come down there and Bell and all that. Like, and these Chastain, can y'all actually take the fight to? Can those regulars take the fight to those Cup regulars? Maybe Christian Atkins, yeah. Christian Atkins is pretty talented. I know that people are going to look at him and be like, yeah, he did some races for Bill McAnally last year and he didn't do all that great. I think the reason why is because that was a part-time effort. And, I think now that he's full-time again, he gets to be around those, around the same group of guys every week, and they can start, you know, talking and about like what he wants in the truck and all that. Uh, it's a good look on Joey, to be honest. Talk about the ball Joey Logano. So we got what, two ball guys in the field now? SVG and Logano. Chase Briscoe needs to be next. He needs to let that go, man. It's weird and funny seeing Logano being bald. I'm still not used to it. Like it was a video that popped up the other day, and I guess he was promoting something. And I was just looking like, man, I'm still not used to this shit. I'm still not used to this shit yet, man. I don't know. It's gonna take a while to get used to. It's so weird. I'm just thinking of that one scene from SpongeBob movie. Bald. Yeah. Then people saying my eyes. He I don't think it's a bad look though. Like I'm not gonna judge too much, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to get used to. I'm ready for NASCAR to fuck it up and somehow make it worse than what we've had for the last decade. I will disagree with this. I don't think they're gonna make it worse. There's no way that they can make it worse. I think the format that we've had over the past decade has been like the bottom of like points formats. At least since the modern era. So there's no I got a feeling that they're gonna get rid of some of the stuff that we don't like. And like they keep a playoffs, they might get rid of win your end. They might do like a little 3-race, 5-race round. That's not a big enough sample size though. I don't even want to do 10 races at this point. Like I'm so hell bent on full season points at this point that anything else will like piss me off. Like the 10 race chase, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't totally lose my mind, but I'm still gonna be sitting there looking like, man, like I just do not want to give up on this, huh? When it's been proven. I mean, people always bring up the data and everything that the ratings and all this stuff that we bring up when it comes to these when it comes to the points debate and talking about how the playoffs has not worked for NASCAR. And I get it, man. Like beating a dead horse at this point. Nobody doesn't want to hear it. I'm pretty sure it's people that's clicking on this live stream. They hear me bitch about the points format and they probably clicking right off. But it's a heavy topic. And no matter what points format they go with, I will say this: no matter what points format they go with, whether it's full season points or 10 race chase, 334, 30, 35. Oh, not 33 regular season races, and then a final 3 or 4 or whatever they do, it's gonna be heavily discussed throughout the season. So I'm all for full season points, but hold on real quick. God damn, I got something in my eye. Oh my god. Sorry about that. I had something in my damn eye. Whatever they go with, it's gonna create a lot of discussion. There's a lot of people that have started watching NASCAR after they implemented playoffs, and people got to get used to it. If they go back to a full season points format, they're not gonna. People got to get adjusted to that, and I don't think that people should just judge it after one season. And I don't think NASCAR should just give it a chance for one season. If they do actually go back to a full season points format, give it, give it a lot of years, like a couple of years for people to adjust to it, man. Um, if they do go with it and somebody runs away with the title, you already know there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be saying like, "See, this is why they shouldn't have done it. This is why they should stick with a chase format." And all this other shit that's gonna be coming out. I think that's like the worst thing that could happen. If they do go back to full season points. And I think even NASCAR is gonna like jump the gun and be like, "Oh, we gotta go back to a playoffs." Like Ian Byron won the championship by like over 100 points. Like all this other shit. Yeah, I saw this. So that Lucas Oil, they going back to a full season points format, and I was like, man, NASCAR, follow them. Resetting the points any amount of times is bad. Exactly. Like even if you do it one time, like I don't care how many points you award to somebody, it just doesn't work, man. Doesn't work. Oh, J Stop Motion, what's up? What up? What up? What up? My bad. I'm going on these tangents that I'm just getting so far behind. What's your opinion on Cup regulars running in the lower series and the new rule set this year? I just talked about it. I know you probably just got in here though. Me personally, I'm not a fan of it at all. I'm not a fan either. Man, I still got something in my eye. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's gonna be top heavy in the lower series this year, somewhat. The most we've seen in quite a while. I think it was pretty unnecessary for them to make that change. I feel like they had a pretty good balance of like letting five, six, 5 events that the cup drivers can run. So I think them going to this Gen 7 car kind of slowed it down too. Because the Gen 7 car doesn't drive anything like the Xfinity car. So I don't think Cup guys want to make it a bad habit of end up. I don't think they want to go from H pattern to sequential and all that and stuff like that. So man, this is really pissing me off, yo. I got something in my eye. I cannot get it out, yo. But yeah, it's I'll still watch regardless. You talk about if they no matter the point system they go with. Like, I'll watch the regular season, but when it comes to playoff races, I'll be tuned out. I'm gonna probably pirate those races most likely if I want to watch. Just to send a message, man, because it's I don't want to give them viewership of something that I don't want to see. So, what up, Ryan? Everybody that just joined, I hope y'all having a great new year. Hope y'all starting off 2026 right. Hopefully this is a much better year. For NASCAR, everything that NASCAR can use a major W right now. Like we need like a big win. Something positive needs to happen. That could come in a few weeks with the point system if they go back to full season points. But we just need something, man. We need some something huge to happen that's a positive for the sport. Um, After everything that's happened, um, at least we're getting more horsepower on the short tracks and road courses. But why not the bigger tracks? I would love for that. I would love for that to happen too. Um, man, yeah, I would love to see them add some horsepower for like the mile and a half and stuff. Because the mile and a half racing is starting to kind of, sort of, you know, fall off a little bit. Starting to fall off just a little bit. Um, so I do think they should do something about that. If it's a 3-3-4 format, I will still watch, but I won't like it. I feel like that's like the worst format they can go with. It's especially if you keep winning your in and you still got 16 drivers making it and all this other shit. Um, I feel like that would be like the worst choice. I also despise the one race championship. We all do. Even the people in the industry, don't like it. So that's how bad that was. It's funny that they took like a decade to finally realize that, like, oh wait, y'all don't like the championship coming down to one race? Let's do something about that. Even though we've been talking about this shit since 2014. Favorite Greg Biffle paint scheme. Uh, the one from 2005, especially the post paint scheme. Let me see if I can pull it up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm even pulling it up for. Um, let's see. Yeah, that was like one of my favorite Biffle schemes. Um, yeah, here it is. Oh wait, damn, that's come on. Here it is. This paint scheme right here. That's like one of my favorites. I've always liked that paint scheme. Obviously, that was the year that Biffle was just on a damn tear. I think he won like 6 races that year. Um, yeah, I really like that paint scheme. Like when I used to play NASCAR 06, that would be, and I picked Red Biffle. That'd be the paint scheme I went with the most. So, I know it's not like that was sort of like a primary scheme for him that year. I remember he ran that paint scheme quite a bit that year. If he wasn't running National Guard like on the hood, he'll be running, posted. So I always thought that was a pretty good paint scheme. Obviously, his National Guard one from '04 to like '06 was pretty damn good. Um, so yeah. Yeah, like see Greg Biffle's National Guard scheme. His paint scheme from 2012 was pretty good too, with 3M. I know he had 3M in the car since like '08, but I think the 2012 one was pretty good. Like my favorite out of the ones that he had, all the 3M schemes that he had. Um, Still got something in my eye. This is kind of this is irritating. Uh, Almost everyone despises it unless your name is Daniel Trotter and Larry McReynolds. Yeah, it's gonna be funny when the new championship format, like let's just say it is full season points. Is Sirius XM Radio, are they gonna actually speak their mind? Like, are they gonna? I just wonder what they're gonna do, because are they gonna try to make it seem like, oh, this is a great decision? All of a sudden, they're NASCAR state-run media, so whatever NASCAR does, they're gonna make it. They're gonna try to act like that it's the right choice. And I just wonder, like, they're gonna like try to switch it up all of a sudden, acting like that. Oh, we needed like full season points. I support this. Or are they gonna be like, I don't know about this. Like, this is not a good move. I just wonder if that's gonna happen or not. So yeah, that's gonna be It'll be interesting, man, when this points format gets released, man. I know that I'm gonna crash the fuck out if they keep the playoffs, especially if they end up sticking with like, the brackets and all that and when you're in, like I'm gonna crash the fuck out on Twitter. Like I am not kidding. And I know people are gonna be looking at me like, man, it's not that serious. Like, yes, it the fuck is. To me, it is. What race are you most excited about? Mine's in Chicagoland. I would be at Chicagoland, me and my brother, and maybe my dad if he still wants to go. I'm trying to, get some. Trying to get him to go as well. Because believe it or not, he's never been to a NASCAR race. He's been watching this sport since like the 70s. But yeah, Chicagoland is one. Man, Kansas is always, a banger for the most part. I love Darlington. The Rockingham races for the Xfinity and Truck series. San Diego, I'm looking forward to. I know a lot of people. It's not a lot of conversation regarding that race, but I'm looking forward to it. What else? Homestead, of course, being the finale again. Yeah, like I think Chicagoland is very high on the list because they haven't raced there in years, and this Gen 7 car it races really well at the mile and a half. So I think that that's at the top of the list for sure. Let's see. What up, Mike? What up, man? Oh yeah, his 2003 Granger scheme. Yeah, I fuck with that one too. Especially when they sort of changed it at the end of the year of the end of his rookie year. I think they added like more red to it or something like that, or whatever color that was, and it looked even better. But yeah, I like his Granger scheme too. But I think the National Guard one was like my favorite, along with his 3M car from 2012. Let me ask y'all a question: who's crashing first this season? Like, who's gonna be the first to crash this season? The Clash is in a couple of weeks, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Carson Hocevar. I'm not talking about what I'll include practice. Practice counts. Like, who's just gonna be the first to crash to start off the season? Like, it could be practice, qualifying, whatever. Somebody's gonna crash at the Clash. So yeah, let me know who y'all think is gonna crash first. Start off the season. I did a video a few weeks ago about my favorite Greg Biffle schemes. He ran from 03 to 2016 plus a few extras. Yeah, Biffle has some pretty. I never really had a issue with Biffle schemes for the most part. I'm trying to think if it's any ones that he had that I didn't care for. He always has some pretty solid paint schemes, man. Like the Cheez It one was pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember that one. That was a pretty good one. That was like towards the end of his career. Yeah, he's always had some pretty good paint schemes. Let's see. Okay. So y'all saying somebody said Cody Ware, which I'm not surprised. Ty Gibbs, Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, Ty Dillon, Kyle Busch, Brad. I think he would get unlucky and spin out and hit the wall in the Clash. Question, your opinion, who has the worst NASCAR fan base right now? Mm. Um, it's a toss up between Chase Elliott's, of course. Um, Larson fans can be pretty bad. Um, who else, man? Yeah, Chase Elliott fans are pretty bad. I can't really think of any fan base. I can't really think of any other fan base, to be honest. Um, I don't like Logano, but I usually don't have any issue with Logano fans for the most part. Um, yeah, it's a Ty Gibbs fan account on Twitter that's pretty irritating. Shame for Gibbsburg fans. I don't I don't really see any SVG fans that that come off irritating and chase sexuals. Come on, man. I may be a huge Elliott fan, but at least I'm not a toxic Elliott fan. Yeah, you cool. Like, see though, you cool. It's not everybody, of course. You know, it's just, but it's a lot of them though. That come off just irritating. Um, Trying to think, man. You got me thinking of like, well, the fan base is pretty toxic. Um, Blaney fans are cool. Uh, Bubba fans are cool. Like I said, Larson fans can be. Some of them are toxic, especially when he started. Like when he at 2022, 2023 time period when he was you know, they was calling him the best in the world and all this shit, you know, and I'm just like, man, y'all need to chill out, yo. Like, you know, they was like he was God. And this is coming from a Larson fan. I wasn't saying this shit. And they were just acting like that he couldn't do no wrong. Larson does make some boneheaded moves on the track. As much as I don't want to say it, you know, if I just kind of throw my hands in the air, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? It's nervous being a Larson fan, man. Like, it's nerve wracking because, like, compared to Dale Jr., you know, I rooted for Dale Jr. for so many years, and like Junior, he never made crazy moves or anything like that. He did from time to time, but Junior was usually a pretty like tame driver for the most part. With Larson, like you know he's gonna give it his all, and he's gonna like just do things that's just gonna um that may rattle some people. So it's like, not to mention like he could be running by himself and he just loses the car, and I'm just like, God damn it, man. It's nerve wracking, man. Like just like the whole thing at Darlington that happened. I'm just like, man. Next thing you know, you just want to crawl into a hole because I'm scared to check Twitter because you know people talking shit. But yeah, you right. You're right, man. Like every fan base can be toxic. There is no. I mean, maybe I should use tame. It's a lot of tame fans out there. I ain't gonna lie, it was some Eric Jones fans that was talking some shit this past year. Like there was a couple of them on Twitter that I saw. I was like I was kind of shocked because I don't have anything against some Bowman fans can be irritating too. I'm not gonna lie. Some and Blaney fans can be pretty annoying too. I don't know, man. I want to talk about I want to talk about driver personalities for a sec. Um, so I remember like that's a heavy topic, and I remember Jimmy Spencer was talking about how like all of these drivers are just boring as hell and stuff like that. And you hear it all the time. What's up, Parker? Glad you can make it in, man. What is up? And y'all came out tonight, man. 26 of y'all. I appreciate it so much. Appreciate it, man. I every time I start these streams, I be thinking that nobody's not gonna join. I don't know. I just be having that fear, and then that can be embarrassing. Set this whole live stream mode just for, for nobody to join. That'd be um, messed up. But yeah, like I think that we do have drivers that have personalities, but those drivers, majority of those drivers are not front runners. They don't be in the spotlight every week. Um, you look at like either these guys don't win that much or they don't win at all. You look at Bubba Wallace, you look at Ross Chastain, you look at it's guys out there that um Bowman, believe it or not, has a personality, and then not to mention these guys got chains on them. Like they are not allowed to show their personality because of like the teams they drive for. Like Penske and Hendrick are like the most corporate teams in NASCAR. Um, so it's like I guess when you drive for them, you gotta have like you gotta be in your best behavior. But yeah, you got guys like Carson Hocevar. He has a personality. And then not to mention there's blue collar guys in the field, like guys that came from nothing. Once again, Ross Chastain, Ryan Preece, um, who else? Josh Berry, guys that really worked to get to where they're at. They don't win as much, or they're not in the spotlight. These guys' stories are not being told to the world because they're not getting the attention. The hardcore people, they know who they are, but and then you look at the guys that win a lot, the Byrons, the Blaney's, the Larsons, and these guys, like, I look at Larson. Larson can have a personality. Like, it shows at times. He's more comfortable on the dirt scene. Like, his personality comes out more in the dirt scene. Like, when he's like in front of the dirt media, but when he's in front of the NASCAR media, it don't come out as much. So that just tells you right there that that Hendrick, they got him on a leash, which fucking sucks. Bowman, like I said, Bowman, he has a personality. Like, this is a quote that I'm glad you ended up posting this, Raiden. He said, "I'm gonna wake up naked in the shower" after he won the Chicago street race. Like, Bowman, he could be, he got a personality. Chase Elliott, a lot of people say he's dry, and he is, but it's like sometimes he'll show some personality. He'll do some things that you be like, wait a minute, did Chase Elliott just do that? The guy that's boring as fuck though, is Byron. I'm sorry Byron fans. This is his personality. Milk toast, man. He just oh shucks type guy. Like, you're not gonna get any quotes from a guy like William Byron. The only guy that's winning and that has a personality right now is Denny Hamlin. Kyle Busch has a personality, but he's not winning anymore. Brad Keselowski, he's not winning anymore. And Keselowski, he's kind of calmed down in recent years anyway. So yeah. I'm the only Kyle Busch fan who likes Logano, Brad Chastain, Bell, Byron, Hocevar. I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I believe those guys, a lot of the front runners are just not, they don't show that a whole lot of personality for the most part, except for Hamlin and, like I said, Larson from time to time. While the other guys, the guys that actually do have a personality, they just don't win as much, or not winning at all, and they get their personality is not being shown to the world. Oh, not a cup guy, but Roger has a great personality. He do. Roger, he one of those dudes where Roger, man, he's one of those dudes you could just like, you could probably just come up to him, man. Y'all can just talk about anything. Like he seemed like he cool as fuck, yo. Like um Carson Hocevar as well, man. Like, those guys, especially I've been watching this it's funny that we talking about Roger and Carson Hocevar. I've been watching that what's that thing called, that NASCAR Rising show that they got on YouTube, and I'm like 4 episodes into it, and watching that show makes you a fan of all three of those guys. The only guy that I haven't really cared for out of that group is Jesse Love. And Jesse Love, when he was with Toyota, it's not because he drove a Toyota, but he just had like a very smug attitude about him. Like it was just something about him that I just didn't care for. But when like he started to mature and I kind of grown to like him a little bit. Didn't agree with what he had to say about um his comments on DBC about like how fans complain too much about the format and the racing and all this other shit. We just need to like kind of accept it, which sounded crazy. But yeah, Jesse Love has grown on me though. So um so yeah. NASCAR Rising. Yeah, it's a good show. Like you just trying to find shit to watch. And I've been watching it a lot. I got one more episode to go. I think it's like a 5 episode series. You know what's funny about Matt Kenseth? Like when Kenseth first came on the scene, like yeah, he was kind of like dull. But when he like towards like the end of his career, especially when he went to like JTR, he started to like really, his personality came out, man. Like Matt Kenseth is funny as hell, man. He's like that sneaky type of funny. Like he's not in your face funny, but he's like, I don't know, man. Like he's hilarious though, man. Like every time you put a microphone in his face, like he's a smart ass, man. It's I don't know. I miss Matt Kenseth. I miss a lot of the guys that from the 2000s. But yeah, like Byron, man, I just can't get with Byron. Like he's a talented race car driver, but I'll give him that. But I really don't care about. I just don't care for him. He's like the only Hendrick guy that I really don't care for. I don't hate him. I'm just like neutral with him. Like just he don't do anything for me. So it's not that many drivers I hate. The only 2 drivers I hate in the Cup Series is Joey Logano and Austin Dillon. And even then, I'm not one of those like haters to where like I'm just gonna say like a bunch of crazy shit. And you hate a driver so much that you just saying anything. It's a lot of those type of fans out there, man. Like they hate somebody so much that they just they're gonna make up like these narratives, like these BS negative narratives about them and all that. I'm not gonna do that. I gave Austin Dillon his credit last year when he won a race. Finally, on just outclassing the field that day. He didn't have to spin nobody out. He didn't have to, he didn't win off of fuel mileage or anything like that. He just went out there and just kicked ass. And I gave him credit. And I was ready to do that last year, or should I say 2 years ago now, when he was dominating Richmond in 2024. And then he just said, oh, no, I'm going to just drive in and just dump Logano, make myself look like a fucking jackass. So yeah. Jesse Love used to be hypocritical in the ARCA series about hard racing. When he does it, no big deal. But when he gets raced hard, he whines. Yes, and that defines Logano too. That's why I don't like Logano. Like Logano, he can dish it out, but he can't. Like he can't take it. I can't stand when drivers do that shit. Like you can't sit there and race somebody like a dick, and then when they do it back to you, you want to sit there and bitch about it. Like that pisses me off. And that's like I've been with Logano. I've been with Elliott Wall Logano at Bristol in 2020, and Elliott he was not about to apologize, and like Logano was trying to get an apology out of him, and Elliott was just like, "Nah, I'm not about to apologize to this dude." Because Logano never apologizes for what he does. He just kind of says like, "Oh, that's what he gets," and does that, little chuckle and walks off. So fuck Logano. That's why I've never cared for him. And then just doing unnecessary moves like, 2022 Darlington when he had the faster car than William Byron. Like he was gonna pass Byron with ease, and he ended up just like bumping him out of the way and just sent Byron into the fucking wall. And I'm just like, that was not necessary. It was not necessary. You was going to win that race with ease. And he gonna try to sit there and say, "Oh, that was payback for him put me in the wall earlier." That tiny ass, little squeeze into the wall. Like your car did not get affected, and you felt like you just had to auto drive him into the fucking corner. I was just like, man, this dude. And my opinion can change on drivers. If drivers start to change, I can, my feelings towards them could change. I'm not one of those fans that's going to hate somebody regardless of like how they come off. Because there's people that still hate Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch is not how he used to be. I'm not going to be one of those people that's just going to stay on that hate train no matter what. So, oh shit. OJ Toothpaste, man. What's up, yo? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, man. Great videos. Go Larson. Hell yeah. I appreciate that, bro. What is up, man? Man, I appreciate that. I don't be expecting y'all to say anything, honestly. I appreciate it so much. It means a lot. I hope you're kicking off the new year pretty well, man. Like I said, I hope all y'all are having a great start to the year. Me personally, I am. I feel like I'm being pretty productive so far. Is that gonna last? I don't know. Yeah, OJ came through, man. OJ Toothpaste came through, man. But yeah, like Logano, man, and then Austin Dillon, it's mainly his attitude when it comes to me. Like, it's not really it's how the way he races too. It's kind of the same thing with Logano. I kind of dislike his personality a little bit more. Talk about Austin Dillon. It's crazy because his brother is so freaking cool, man. Ty Dillon is cool. I don't got no problems with Ty. Ty Dillon is the complete opposite of Austin Dillon. I admit Austin Dillon has more talent than him, but I'll be rooting for Ty Dillon, man. I'll be like, man, like I was hoping when he got that Rackley Ward truck a couple years ago, I thought that he was gonna do something with it. But he got that JGR opportunity like in 2022. I was hoping he would have capitalized on it, and he didn't, unfortunately. I like who he is. He's not that great of a driver. But I'll always be hoping that he can just come out one day and just win. Like when he was doing the end season, he was in contention with the end season bracket. My bad, I can't even fucking talk. the in-season bracket tournament thing that they was doing last year, and I was pulling for him. Like at first, I'm like, man, he's gonna get eliminated. He ain't gonna make it to the finals. This dude made it all the way to the finals, and I was at me and my brother. We was at the Brickyard, and I'm just looking like, man, like that'd be crazy if he can pull it off. And he came up short. So yeah, I like Ty Dillon. Let's see. I also hate how Logano lucked into so many wins. You know, it's funny that you end up saying this because I was watching Kamikaze Games the other day or a couple weeks ago, and I think he made a video talking about like how Logano, none of his wins he earned or something like that. And I was just laughing because I disagree with a few of them, but you know, it was just funny because I'm like, damn, he he think that he think Logano didn't earn any of these, but this how the way that video ended too. He was like, fuck this race and fuck this video. Like I was just I was down laughing. Damn, OJ. Damn. What's up? I appreciate it again, man. Get Riley Hurst out of 2311 and put Corey Haim in. What the fuck are we doing? So dumb. My prediction: Connor Zilic will win in his rookie year. Hey, so I'm not trying to spoil anything in my predictions video. I do have a Connor Zilic prediction. I'm not gonna spoil it though. Yes, I was talking about it earlier, OJ. It's insane to me that Corey Haim, we in January. The season kicks off like in what, another month? And this like a little over a month, and he still doesn't have a ride. Now I get it, we still got some time. He probably got something signed already and he just hasn't announced it. Who knows? But it's insane to me that if he's really just sitting there still scrambling to find something full time, because I think he's going to be doing some 2311 races in Cup or driving for 2311 in Cup. Excuse me. But if this dude is not going to be in a car full time, whether it's in the Xfinity Series for Sam Hunt, I think he's done with the trucks. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think if he is, that's good for the truck field because obviously it depends on the equipment too. I mean, we know that he's not going back to Tricon, so why leave Tricon and hop in a different vehicle, but or a different team? But yeah, if Joe Gibbs wasn't so petty, Corey Haim could have been a Cup driver right now. If Joe Gibbs wasn't petty, if the Gibbs family wasn't petty, he could have been a Cup driver right now. I believe that. He, you know, all because of a fucking ARCA feud that happened back in what, 2020, 2021, I think. And, you know, Ty Gibbs, like, it's proof. Like I did a whole video on it. Like there's no, even Bob Pipers was saying like, yeah, I don't think that Corey Haim is driving for JTR because of the Gibbs family having beef. So it was 2021. So yeah, like it's just, I hope that he becomes a full-time Cup driver one day and is driving for a great team. And he gives the middle finger to Ty Gibbs and the Gibbs, you know, Joe Gibbs and stuff. Joe Gibbs can be petty. Like Joe Gibbs can be petty, man. He's shown it multiple times over the years. You know, it's insane to me that you passed up on a guy all because you passed up on a very talented driver all because of you know, him and, you know, he got into it with your grandson. And you know, people are going to bring up like, well, he doesn't bring sponsorship Yeah, but JTR has team sponsors. Like they could have funded that car, for a couple races or even for a full season. They could have scraped together some sponsorship and had him run full time. Like you look at Ryan Truex, like he's did some races for on JTR. Pete Brett Moffitt, these people that don't bring sponsorship, they even got opportunities to drive for JTR. So it's true that Corey Haim doesn't bring sponsorship, but a team can they can end up sponsoring a car. They can self-sponsor the car. So they could have put Toyota on the hood or whatever sponsors that JTR got. I think they got Craftsman or something like that. JBL. Um, who else? Yahoo. Sponsors like that. So I feel like they could have scraped it together and sponsor him. It's just them being petty at the end of the day. I think I think if he would have brought his own sponsorship, maybe Joe Gibbs would have been like, okay, you bring your own sponsor. But I think he saw that he didn't bring no sponsorship. He was probably just like, I ain't about to sponsor this dude. Like I'm not gonna put no effort in to try to get him into one of my cars, which is petty. Petty. Man. Imagine if Tricon Garage went full time in Cup, Corey Haim will be in it. You know what? They did make a Daytona 500 start last year. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, y'all. I think what was I saying? I would like to see them go full time though. I think that would be kind of cool. Um, they did the Daytona 500. I think they got racked out of the race. I hope they attempt the Daytona 500 this year. Hold on, give me a sec. Yeah, but my bad, I needed something to drink right there. But yeah, like I don't know who's on the Daytona 500 entry list. I think Bob Parker said that Tricon wasn't looking into doing the Daytona 500 this year. So that sucks. Um, it's cool that Junior Motorsports is gonna be back in it, if I'm not mistaken. So that's cool. I think we're looking at what 40. How many cars are we looking at for the Daytona 500 entry list so far? I know last year I think it was like 46. I think 45. I know 2021 was a pretty big field because that was like the last year of the Gen 6. Um, yeah, I heard about this. The Polar Express Productions saying NBM is going into the 500 with Casey Mears. I read about that. Um, I still miss those days, man. We used to get like 50 cars. Um, I was watching the 2007 Daytona 500 qualifying like last week, and I was like, man, they had like 60 some cars attempting that race, man. I was watching. It was another qualifying session. I was watching. I think the fall Atlanta race in 2000. The fall qualifying. It was qualifying for the fall Atlanta race, and it was like 60 some cars attempting to race that race. And, oh, Atlanta! It's not like it was the Brickyard or the Daytona 500. It was for the Atlanta. And I was just looking like, damn. So I just miss those days so much. Seeing that many cars on the entry list. Now Xfinity, we might see a lot of cars on the Xfinity on for the Xfinity entry list. Um I gotta look at the you got teams expanding and stuff like that. So same thing for the trucks. Same thing for the trucks. Gotta check ARCA as well. So yeah. Who do you see retiring either this year or next year? Um, this year I don't see nobody. Let's see. A lot of people are starting to say Brad. He's getting up there. I don't think anybody's going to retire this year, but I think next year we can see two guys, maybe three guys walk away. Denny Hamlin, 2027 is possibly going to be his last year as of now. And you got Keselowski, he might hang it up next year. Kyle Busch, I think this is his last year with RCR unless he signs another extension. This can possibly be his last year. And some of these guys, they're not gonna announce anything. I think if this was Kyle Busch last year, he would have been said something. Same thing with Brad. I think guys like this, they are gonna announce it prior to the season starting. All right, Cito, you gone. Glad you can make it, man. I always appreciate you coming in here and showing support. I appreciate that so much. You have a good one. Kyle Busch to Spire will feed families. Yeah, if Spire is on the rise, and if they just say Dodge comes in 2027 and they switch to Dodge, I would love to see Kyle Busch go over there and he can replace Michael McDowell, I think Michael McDowell is like what 41, so 42, something like that. My McDowell, he's up there too. So, I could, but Kyle Busch is also old. But I think Kyle Busch still has the drive. I just think he wants to get out of RCR at this point. I think anything would be better. I think he looks at Spire. He has a relationship with Spire. Like Spire brought KBM on the shop that Kyle Busch used to own. They brought that from him. So, and then not to mention Kyle Busch has done races with Spire. So Kyle Busch has a pretty tight relationship with Spire. So if Spire continues to make the right moves, because as long as they remain with Chevy, they're not going to be able to compete for wins. So let's just say Dodge comes in 2027 and they go over to Dodge and be one of the flagship teams over there. I feel like that he can, maybe make some noise. Maybe. But I think Kyle Busch has fallen off as a driver too, though. I think you started to see it a little bit even before he went to RCR. So, I think the practice, I made a video about it. I think practice is kind of like, hurt Kyle Busch, the lack of practice. So, he doesn't like the sim. So, I don't think he clicks with this Gen 7 car. So, yeah, I just think that his time is running out. I think Kyle Busch said that he wanted to run for the truck championship. He might do that. Not just for one season, but I can see him doing that for a couple of seasons. I do think that he's going to race with Brexton in the truck series. He wants to do that. I think at that point, Kyle Busch would probably just do like a one-off or whatever. I don't think he's going to be full-time in any series at that point. Because how old is Brexton? Like 10 or 11? He still got another 5 years or so before he could drive a truck on. So, not to mention, he just got to continue to get experience in racing in general before he can even hop into a NASCAR vehicle. still think he has some left in the tank, even though 2025 wasn't really that great for him. Yeah, 2025. I think he only had like what 4, 5 top tens. He had single digit top tens, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably way off on that, and I should know because I'm a stats guy. But yeah, it was bad for him last year. And you know, he got a new crew chief. He got Justin Allgaier's old crew chief. But it starts from the top. I said this on Twitter. Like it starts from the top, man. Like I don't. Maybe it'll make a little bit of a difference, but I still see him kind of like struggling for the most part. Maybe he'll break his winless streak at like Talladega or Atlanta. But in terms of like having speed to go up there and contend for wins, he may have one race where he can have like an Austin Dillon type of performance. Maybe. And it's crazy because like I don't think Kyle Busch. Let's see. It's insane that like out of all the RCR cars, like end up being Austin Dillon that ends up having like that pure pace. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch couldn't have like not one race where he could have a car that was capable of like winning like what Austin Dillon had in that Richmond race last year and the year before that. So, hot take: Connor Zilic will have a bad season in his first year. I think he's going to struggle on the ovals, but when it comes to the road courses, he will be money. I see him. I don't want to spoil nothing, but that's all I'm going to say is that I think he's going to be money at the road courses, and I think he's going to struggle at the ovals, pretty much like SVG. But I think that he'll fare a little bit better on the ovals because you know he has some oval experience. You know, racing in the lower series. So from ARCA to a little bit in trucks, I think he raced in trucks, ovals in the trucks a little bit. And then of course, you know, Xfinity series. And it seemed like Connor Zilic, he can adapt pretty quickly. He gives me Tony Stewart, AJ Foyt, Kyle Larson vibes of like whatever he sits in, he can make that car go fast. I don't count Dillon's 2024 Richmond wins since he ran over Logano and Hamlin to win it. Yeah, but prior to that, he was dominating. He was doing his thing. Like he was you know, he was dominating that race. And you know, that caution came off of Stenhouse and he just took his head off after that. So who y'all think wins the most races this year in the Cup Series? Who y'all think is going to end up in, you know, and how many wins? I think the most wins that somebody has gotten in a season with the Gen 7 car so far is 6 twice. I think Byron has 6 in 2023 and Larson has 6 in 2024. And three times. Because Hamlin won 6 times last year. Can anybody get over that? That, you know, can anybody eclipse 8, 9, possibly 10 wins in this car? I'm curious about that. Can the field get more consistent? Because ever since this car has came about, you know, it's hard for people to eclipse even 25 top 10s in a season. You know, I think some of the top guys a couple years ago was getting like 18 to 20 top 10s in a season. It was just telling you that how inconsistent everybody was. I can hear my voice going out. Hold on. I gotta remember to drink my damn water so my voice won't be going out. But yeah, I remember I made a prediction last year in my prediction video Somebody will eclipse 30 top tens in a season, and I was way off on that. I said it was gonna be Chase Elliott. It's gonna be hard for people to do that because this Gen 7 car, man, it's like it seems like it's hard to be consistent. But it seems like that people are starting to figure this car out now and like how to, drivers are figuring it out and teams are getting smarter with the setups and they haven't really done anything to this car since it came out. So if that's gonna happen this year, maybe somebody can get close to it. The last time that happened was in 2007 when Jeff Gordon had 30 top tens in the season. I just feel like that is a big deal in my opinion to score 30 top tens in a 36 race season. That is insane, especially in today's day and age. Like in modern NASCAR, like that's crazy. So I would like to see somebody do it. I don't care who it is. The first people that come to mind is people like Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher. Like if Roush can get they cars a little bit faster, I feel like Chris Buescher can do it. Um, you know, Bell. So y'all saying I asked who's gonna win the most races. I think Byron will have a season of his life. Yeah, I think Byron, he's gonna be a factor, a big factor. Briscoe, I see Briscoe getting the most poles this season. But he will be a factor though. I got him winning like 4 races this year again. Um, Bell, Byron, William Byron with 6. Kyle Larson with 5. My biggest prediction for 2026 season is Kyle Busch is finally winning the Daytona 500. Jesus Christ, I'm malfunctioning. And Ryan Preece flipping again at Daytona for the 3rd time. I hope Preece doesn't flip again, man. Like, who's this dude supposed to be? Elliott Sala. He's the Elliott Sala of today. Just flipping. Kyle Busch winning. Man, like I said that the NASCAR community needs like a huge W. It would be so dope if Kyle Busch won the Daytona 500. Not only if the race is good, like, forget about the point system for a sec. Even if they go with something stupid, imagine if like Kyle Busch or Brad Keselowski. I think it would be more impactful if Kyle Busch won the Daytona 500. Like, he's one of the biggest stars in NASCAR. Over 20 years of trying. I feel like it wouldn't match Dale Earnhardt's 98 win, of course, but I feel like that, if he can win it too, like in a legit way, like making a badass move or just holding off the field or whatever. I don't know. Like, I feel like that would be huge, and he breaks this winless streak, and I don't know, man. That would be huge for the sport. And that would be his 65th career win, 64th career win. So every time somebody like Kyle Busch wins or Denny Hamlin, it's a huge deal because they just, they in that little range of, legends. They not that far away from legends, or they're around legends. So yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope. Let me see. Gordon was 2 better finishes away from having 32 top 10s in 07. Insane. Man, I hate talking about 2007 Jeff Gordon. I know I just bought him up not that long ago, but Should have won that championship. But yeah. Yeah, all the guys y'all listed, I think those guys are gonna be, the usual favorites. I think I think Chris Bush is gonna be pretty good this year. I'm gonna throw a wild card out there. I think Chris Bush is gonna be. I think he's gonna have a season similar to 2023. I think he's gonna get some wins, and I think he's gonna score. I think he's gonna place top 5 in the points. And NASCAR is gonna go with something much more legit. If NASCAR goes to something more legit, much more legit when it comes to the format, I got Busher easily scoring a top 5 finish in the points. I think Roush is going to get their stuff together. I think when they expanded to that third car last year, it kind of like, put a halt to their progress because they was making strides like every year ever since Brad Keselowski came on board, and he was taking that team in the right direction. And then, they expanded to that third car for Ryan Preece, which, by the way, he scored like what? He did pretty solid. He got quite a few top 10s. He was close to making the chase. And I think that DQ at Talladega kind of costed him a chance at making the chase. That was a lot of points gone. But I think Roush, they had a pretty solid year last year. They just, outside of Keselowski, of course. But they were consistent. They just couldn't win. I think they're going to take a step forward this year, and I think Chris Bush is going to be the leader. And I think he's going to get some wins and score a top 5 points finish. Let's see. Bush is going into his 21st Daytona 500 this year. That's crazy, man. It's crazy that Kyle Buschman, I think his first Daytona 500 was in 05. That's crazy. That is insane. I see Legacy Motor Club winning a race this year. Most likely will be Eric Jones, probably. Even though never know with John Hunter Nemechek, he might get a plate win or whatever. I need to see more out of John Hunter Nemechek, man. I've been saying that for a while, and it just seems like he won't step up. I know that his car is not that great, but I've seen Eric Jones drag, low end teams to, pretty solid finishes. Legacy Motor Club is another team that's probably going to switch to Dodge too whenever they come in, whether it's 2027 or 2028. So I think that's probably when they go take a leap forward. I wonder if Hendrick can pull 5 championships in a row like they did 10 years ago from 06 to 2010. And my pick to do so is William Byron. All depends on how the format is. If they go to if they go to a 10 race chase or a full season points format, no rounds, eliminations, I feel like that stuff like that can be done again. Right now, the championship, even if you do a 3-3-4, it's still gonna be it's gonna be in the air. So too random. Kyle Busch should go to Legacy, to be honest. I feel like that Kyle Busch would be a better fit at Spire. And you know what's crazy? Now I'm thinking about Richard Petty. I just said Richard Petty. Legacy was talking about expanding to a third car. Like they really want to get a third car in their organization, like a full-time third car. Now it's not gonna be this year, but I thought it was gonna be this year because it was talking heavy about it like around the beginning of last year. I just remember I was like, man, maybe they could bring on Corey Heim. But then you got 3. Well, Eric Jones is a veteran now. So really you would have 2 two youngsters and a veteran over at that organization. Um, but yeah, I think I think Kyle Busch is a better fit for Spire. Hold on. But yeah, I think he'll be a better fit for that team. Like I said, they got the history and, and stuff like that. So um if Legacy does go to a third car next year, I don't know who they go put in that car. It could be Kyle Busch. You know, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before about plenty of stuff, but that's just my guess though at it. So we'll see. Um, but yeah, it's been a rough off season, man. Like like I said, we need a major W. We in January now. This is when things are going to start, start happening, and I just really hope that obviously NASCAR makes the right decision. Um, I do not want to go into 2026 frustrated, man. I mean, we in 2026, but I don't want to go into the 2026 NASCAR season frustrated. And I'm praying that they can get it right, man. Get it right. I want to be a happy NASCAR fan. All this stuff that we talked about today is either been sad or frustrating. And it's been fun talking to y'all about, random topics. I didn't want to talk about the tragedies and stuff like that for too long because it's just depressing. But yeah, yeah, I just really hope that we can all be happy soon, because I think Iceberg kind of put it perfectly not that long ago in one of his recent streams. He was talking about how we went from wanting to get away from NASCAR, after the season concluded. We wanted nothing to do with NASCAR. And then all this stuff started happening, and now we kind of at the point to where we want to see cars back on the track. Maybe some people don't feel that way still. We just sitting here waiting right now, just seeing what NASCAR is gonna do. But yeah, man, it's we'll see what happens. I think one last thing I want to talk about is just what I got planned for this channel this year. I kind of talked about it on Twitter a little bit. So like I said earlier, the Michael Watcher video, and the name of the video is Michael Watcher's Underwhelming Big Break. That's going to be out in a couple of days. And then I got my predictions video, my 2026 predictions video, that's going to go out the week after next, unless I get done with it sooner, which could be possible. It just depends. And then I got some other videos in the works. I got some goals for the channel this year. Like I said, this is a hobby. It's not, a primary source of income. So I do it for fun. I do it for you guys. And I think it'll be cool to reach 8,000 subscribers this year. I think that'll be kind of dope. I think collabing with a big time YouTuber, a big time NASCAR YouTuber, would be kind of cool. Appearing on a podcast would be dope. I'm supposed to be doing that soon. Um, so I'm working on that, and then yeah, it's I got some stuff in the works, man. A lot of videos. I know I'm slow with it, but don't want to rush anything out either. I need a new laptop because my laptop is so old. I can't even do my videos like how I want to. Like I can't even get too fancy with the editing because the computer can't fucking handle it. So yeah, all of that stuff is gonna hopefully happen this year. Um so yeah, be on the lookout for stuff like that. Um I know I'm not as organized as other channels that y'all may follow. You know, it's just that's not me not caring. I care about this. It's just that it's just hard for me to I procrastinate a lot, so I'm still trying to get out of that. But yeah, I'll stay on here for like another 5 or 10 more minutes. You know, ask away of like anything at this point, and I'll try to keep it brief. And then gonna get up out of here because my voice is going out, and yeah. So yeah, so Braden Bunch is heading out already. All right, man. I hope you have a good one. Uh oh yeah, NASCAR 25 is coming out for update this month. They coming out with the Portland track, and that should have been the game in the first place. And what else? They updating Sonoma. We're not gonna be racing that 2008 Sonoma anymore. We're gonna be racing that uh modern day Sonoma. And then they supposed to be doing some stuff with the paint booth to where we can use any number, and they might add some more scheme templates and stuff. So that's gonna be cool. I ain't gonna lie, I've been getting kind of frustrated with the career mode lately because I won 2 races. I made it to the Cup Series, and I won the first 2 races in my rookie year. You know, to start the season, Daytona and Atlanta are the first 2 races. They're play races. So, but I thought that I was going to be slow, and turns out, I was fast. Like I qualified 27th. Then I dominated the duel that I was in. Which, by the way, I'm still glad that the duels are in the game. That's pretty dope. But I dominated the duel, and the only reason I lost it is because I sped on pit road. And then that was pretty much my race. So I had to start. I think I started 39th because I think it was only one of the car that I beat in my duel. So I think I started 39th, got my way up to the front quickly. Mind you, 105 difficulty. And I put my pressures in too, to where like I bumped my pressures up. And when you bump the pressures up at super speedways on that game, once you bump them up, you don't have to change tires for the rest of the race. In case y'all didn't know that. So I kept taking no tires at each stop, and so I can make sure I can keep my track position. Not to mention, when you bump the pressures up, it makes your car like 3 or 4 miles per hour faster. So it was at one point where I was like actually pulling away from the pack a little bit on my own. Like I was Dale Jr. at Daytona in '06 in that Bush race. I was just sitting there looking like, yo, this is not supposed to be happening, man. And I led 86 out of 100 laps. Dominated. Fucking dominated, yo. And I was not happy. I mean, I was like, this is cool, but if this was like my second or third Daytona 500 in my career mode, okay. This happened in my rookie season, and then now I'm in the chase. I hate winning you're in, so now I'm in the chase now because of it. Then I go to Atlanta. I sped in that race, but before I sped, I was leading that race too. Luckily, some cautions came out by the AI. I took the wave around and all that. Got back on lead lap. Got back to the front. It came down to like a 5 car battle between me, Blaney, Gibbs, two other drivers. Field was spread out, by the way. So it was kind of cool. You didn't have a whole clumped up pack. Blaney, I had like Ty Gibbs didn't want to push me at first. Blaney went on past me. And then on the last lap, I kind of made like a move on him. I went to the outside. Gibbs went with me. And I just won that race. So that was more fun, but once again, like I had speed. I'm not supposed to have speed or the handling. So then I go to Coda. I know I'm rambling at this point. My bad, but I go to Coda and I run like dog shit. I ran between 30th and 32nd all day. I spun coming on the pit road doing the last like stop. Caution happened and I restarted last and I got some of my track position back. So yeah, it's just I wish. So what if you made a good point? It's a cup car thing. Xfinity and trucks are much harder. I agree, because when you are racing the trucks and Xfinity series, not only you don't got the speed, but also you don't have the handling either. Like, especially with the Xfinity car, like you can feel your car like wobble in the corner at Daytona and Talladega. And it makes it to where like it's hard trying to get a run. So I'm like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. I still won anyway, but even the Xfinity series, but yeah, Cup was just, I obliterated the field. And I'm just looking like this is not supposed to happen. Because when you play Thunder 04, and I know people get tired of me saying like, oh, you bring up Thunder 04 all the time, because they did it right. Like when in your first season, you're like a 40th place car. You're not super slow to where you're not the slowest car in the field, but you are pretty damn slow. And you're racing with like a pack of cars throughout that race, like around that 36, 37 range, maybe a little bit higher than that. And then the progression is too fast. Like I was competitive in ARCA by the middle of my first season. I was competitive in trucks by the end of my first season. I'm talking about like race winning speed consistently. And then it was the same way with Xfinity in my first season. It took me 2 seasons to win a truck championship and 2 seasons to win an ARCA championship. Xfinity, I didn't win, but I made the final 4. And I just didn't have the speed in that race. Then I just said, you know what? I'll go back to Xfinity at some point down the road and try to win a championship later on, because I wanted to get to the Cup Series. And I sure was not about to run I was not about to run Xfinity and Cup, because that was going to take all day to get to that season. So I'm just focusing on Cup, trying to get my cars better. But yeah, it just feels like the lowest I can finish in points now is 16. It just doesn't feel right. Like in Thunder 04, like you were going to finish like 30 of something in the points because the system was much more legitimate. And all it takes is just one win. If the plate racing was much more challenging, then it, you know, I probably wouldn't be in the situation. But another thing with the plate racing, and what if, I think you mentioned this before, the AI runs themselves out of fuel, and you see like a line of cars just going slow around the track. They run themselves out of fuel. They don't guard the very bottom of the track like how they do in real life, and it makes it to where it's easy to like move up through the field, because you got that very little bit of space between a pack of cars and the yellow line. Now, unless you just want to be dirty and just go below the yellow line, it makes it even easier. Which, by the way, I think they should have a penalty they need to bring back the yellow line rule. They had that in inside line, and then I think they had that inside line in NASCAR 14, where like if you go below the yellow line, the game will penalize you. It'll give you like 10 seconds to give the spot back, and if you didn't, you'll get penalized, and you have to come down pit road. So I wish they had that in the game. I hope that's in NASCAR 26, unless they just get rid of the yellow line rule in real life, which they never will. But yeah, I just don't like how fast the progression is. Under 04, you it was more realistic because when you had the money to buy a part, like for the shop, it took 9 races for it to get delivered to your shop. It could be sooner than that, but usually you didn't have the money at the beginning of the game to wait 6 races or even 3 races. So you usually had to wait 9 races. Not to mention you had to pay your pit crew and all that. You had salary in the game. So you had to pay. That made it even harder to like build money up. So you go to the parts store in Thunder 4, you'll buy a part to get yourself like more tire grip or better tire wear, something engine related, whatever. And it took 9 races to get delivered. Then when you start building a new chassis or a new engine, it took another 9 races or so to get complete. And then you can start using that car. And that's what made the progression much longer in Thunder 04 compared to this game where you just, I can just buy a level 4 part immediately if I got the money. I just don't like that. I want to struggle in every series that I do. Just about, I mean, even ARCA to a certain extent, but it should get more and more difficult to struggle on to progress. Maybe ARCA should be easy, yeah, but trucks, Xfinity, it should get progressively more difficult. And that's what make like Thunder 4, you wouldn't be truly competitive until like your 3rd season. But even then, you don't have you may have the engine power at that point, but you don't have the fuel mileage, because it wasn't just about the engine, like how powerful your engine was. You had to have good fuel efficiency too, because it was like it's some races in your 3rd season where you'll be dominating. Like I remember I was dominating Dover, and turns out I wasn't gonna have the fuel to make it, so I had to pit. And I think I finished like, I don't know, I think I still finished in the top 10 because my car was that fucking good. I just didn't have the fuel efficiency. So they need to implement that in the next game too. Like it needs to, your fuel, like everything is like not good when you first start off. Like your engine power, your fuel, that's not good. And then not to mention when you buy stuff, it needs to make a difference. So for example, I know Winval was talking about this. I know I'm going on a tangent, but Winval was talking about like how a level 1 through like 3 doesn't make a difference. And it doesn't. You can get to a level 4 and still feel slow as shit. It doesn't make a difference. I was just doing Phoenix just now before I went live earlier today, and I was running 40th on like dead last on speed. I was running with, and this is at like 103 AI difficulty, and I'm getting outran by BJ McLeod and Chad Fincham, and I'm just like, what? Like I'm driving the car like hard, trying to just make some time, but it didn't matter. One of my biggest nitpicks of NASCAR 25, I think I'm going over right now. Like, like just a lot of stuff with the career. Like I'm enjoying the game But it's things that's like that's frustrating at times. So you like, man, this is in the way of me enjoying this game even more. My bad, I had to get something to drink. I talk about. I said 5 minutes that I was gonna be back on. I was gonna be on here for a little bit longer. I went on a whole tangent about NASCAR 25, but yeah, like it's just I wish the yeah you right Polar Express. The roof flaps don't open at all. I think it would be so dope because you know like in real life when they be bump drafting each other, the hood flaps kind of pop up. I think that would be a nice little detail if they end up adding that. They need to add that in the next game. Just in general, like when you spin out the roof flaps deploy, I think that'd be kind of nice. So I think that'd be kind of dope. Um, they used to have that in older games like Thunder 04. It's little details like that, man. They need stuff like Delta. I would like to know how much slower or faster I am doing a lap instead of just guessing throughout my lap. Like, is I'm tracking faster? Am I tracking slower? Like I was practicing for a league race the other day. I'm just like, man, I wish I could know, you know, if I'm going faster or not. But which, by the way, that league race is tomorrow, so I gotta practice some more. Um, what if you said I like managing the work points and R&D points with the shops? Just needs the progression or the levels to unlock one level at a time. When finish upgrading on one level. Yeah, so it's things like that to where like I remember you was mentioning that like you had the money built up going into like your cup season and you got all this money built up and all you can do, you can't buy no parts at all. And I don't know if that's the game intentionally trying to make it tough on you, which I'm talking about it. I want it tough, but if you got the money, like just let me buy whatever the hell I want at that point. So yeah, the R&D points does make it more um like you need R&D engineers or whatever in order to buy um like a level 5 engine and up. Even if you got the money, it's not gonna matter. So yeah, it's just a lot of things. I want a silly season. I want I want them to get this stuff straightened out, but they also need to like beef up the career mode more presentation. Um uh you know, hiring pit crews and stuff like that. You know, I'm gonna make a wish list video. I'm already typing the script out for that already. That's probably gonna be a video maybe in late February, maybe I don't know. Depending on how fast I can get it typed out. And I'm gonna just do like this big grand NASCAR 26 wish list video and just being realistic with it. I'm not gonna just name a whole bunch of shit that I know that they can't get in 1 year. So I'm focused on the things that they need to improve and like really need to improve and things that they futures that they really need to get in. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like speaking of what if, I ain't gonna lie, dude. I be watching you play that you be racing that stream car. I be jealous, man, because I'm sitting there like, damn, I should be part of this. Like I got invited to the Discord and I'm still in that Discord too. I just haven't said anything because I can't race because everybody's on PC. So you know, because I feel like if I was in that, man, I can I can contend for that championship, man. I know y'all just had a bad race at North Westboro, so you probably looking like you dodged a bullet, but man, like um I really wish I could have been part of that, because that leads into my um one of the futures I want to see is crossplay. If they had crossplay, I could have played. I could have raced against y'all. I could have been on the PS5. Y'all could have been on PC. I see why y'all want to be on PC, because y'all you know, face cams and all that and stuff. So I get it. Me, I don't do all that. I could have just streamed from the PS5. That would have been good enough for me, honestly. But yeah. I also wish they would have done a lot better with the crash physics on the cars. I'm just gonna say it. It's badly done. It is, like, when you go backwards in that game, just the crash physics in general, it just looks so. It's weird. You can't even crash cars in this game. Like, you wanted to turn around and crash cars, the AI comes to a complete damn stop. It's no impact at all. Like, it's weird. So hopefully they get that, improved. You're right. I agree with that. I can see Chase Elliott or Ryan Blaney winning 5 or 6 races this year in 2026. Oh my God. Predictions video. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry you had to watch Wilkesboro. There was like over 20 cautions. Yeah, I heard about it. I was checking in every now and then. I was just like, I was watching. I think you was doing like a practice race. Lifting, like maybe y'all was qualifying or something. And then I clicked back on it and I saw like, it was a caution fest. I was just like, yeah. This is one of those nights where I'm glad that I'm not in this shit, because I probably would have gotten frustrated. But I just got done doing North Wilkesboro in the league race too, man. That I'm proud of. So the league I'm proud of, we got 25 guys. And we got 2 different series. We got the Elite Series, which is what I'm part of. And majority of the guys are in that series, but we got a Pro Series, which is like the lower leagues. It's still the Cup Series. Like, we doing Cup Series, but the guys that wants to just not be as serious with it or whatever, it's like 10 or 11 guys in that, and then it's like 25 of us in the Elite Series. And for the most part this season, we've had some good racing, yo. Like, we have like little moments where like people get frustrated with each other. Somebody may do something stupid, but it's good shit, man. Like, I'm leading the points right now, but I think stage points are like saving my ass, because we did 9 races. I got 5 top 5s and 5 top 5s and 5 top 10s so far this season. And yeah, I think I only got 1 win. I won at Kansas. So yeah, that league, man, like, it's really good, man. Like, they do trophies, they keep track of like laps led, and they got like they got like an all times win list. This is their 3rd season. I joined last year. I actually joined at the end of their 1st season, but I was part-time. And then I ran full-time my 2nd season. I won the championship. And I did some like Jeff Gordon type shit. I won like 13, 14 races and won the championship. So yeah. On but NASCAR 20, I can't even say it. For NASCAR 2026, I wish for more accurate crash physics, accurate blowover physics, and openable roof and hood flaps. I agree, man. Like, I really agree. I hope all 3 of our RFK drivers do a tribute to Greg Biffle, iconic schemes, Ranger, National Guard, and GM. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking Rowdy fan. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see some tributes this year. I think we're going to see some, Michael Annett tributes as well. I know Michael Annett wasn't a known driver, but I think we might see 1 or 2 tributes towards him. I want to see Fox, and they may not do it because it's Fox, but I would love for them to do like a silent lap 16 in a Daytona 500, and to pay tribute to Biffle. I think it would be kind of dope if like all of the Roush cars did like this little font right here that you seeing on screen for the whole season. I think that would be touching. So I feel like that would be kind of that would be a beautiful thing to do. Um, my birthday is next Friday, so I probably won't be in stream card that race. I'm becoming an old man now in the community. um, reaching that unk status. uh, shoot, I'm not that far. Man, it's coming soon for me too, man. Like my 20s is almost over with. Um, but yeah, happy early birthday though, man. Hope you end up having a good one. Um, yeah, what was I going to say? I just saw my train of thought. I'm reading our comments and I'm trying to think of like what I was about to say, but yeah, I hope you have a good birthday though. What if my money is on either you or I'm still betting on you or DJ Yee winning the championship now. I don't know if I know you ran every race so far, but I don't know if DJ Yee has. So, and I think y'all doing full season points, right? So if you miss next week, that's probably what affect you in the points. Damn. Because I going into that season, I was like, I think What If can probably pull this off, but Gary on, I underestimated him, man. Like, damn, like I didn't think that he was gonna be this damn fast. Like he's fast everywhere. But I feel like I could have been up there with y'all, man. Like it hurts. It freaking hurts. Yeah. 5 more minutes, y'all, and I'm gonna get up out of here because I gotta be at work in the morning. Gotta take care of some other stuff too. Roush at one point had a standalone Biffle 6 that ran a nationwide series at one point. Yeah, I just think they should I really hope they do it, man. I really hope Roush does like this tribute to Biffle. I feel like that it would be nice if NASCAR 25 came out with like a Greg Biffle style font. I think that'd be kind of cool. I could see Keselowski and Denny Hamlin retiring after 2027. Hamlin is probably the most likely, like I said. Maybe Kyle Busch. Keselowski, I can probably see it as well. Jeff Gordon's coming back and Dale Earnhardt going to knock him out. Come on, Robert on. Yeah. I'm not good enough to win the championship. Gooden, my bad if I said his name. Gooden and Owen are a tier above me. I lost the edge. I'm not the same person or driver since I don't live and breathe this stuff anymore. You right there near them, man. Like, from what I watched, like it's not like that it seems like you're third best right now. Cause yeah, I forgot about Gooden too. Like he's pretty damn good too. And I just want to say this too. Like, yes, I feel like that I'm pretty good at the game, but it's like what I said on Twitter, man. I do have a life. I work 8 to 12 hours. 4 or 5 days a week. So, and still manage to pour time into the game. I be hating when people be saying that like, oh, you a sweat. You don't do anything in your life. It's like, dude, I work and I can still be good at a game. Like it's possible. um, but yeah, I saw the point standards though. I think you like fifth. What if? Long season ago, man. But I get it though. You're not gonna pour a whole lot of time into this, especially with the game being the way it is. I wish they had like a league mode and stuff, and things were a little bit more organized. I predict the stream card title fight to be like the 1992 title fight. Yeah, hopefully, What If is in it. My money's on him, man. I mean, it is though, but I can't believe it's been 10 years since Chase Elliott replaced Jeff Gordon when Jeff retired in 2015 after the tough season ended. Yeah, time is flying, man. Time is flying. They on the wheel, so it's an advantage. Unsure how big though. I've been hearing about this too. I don't think. I wonder if they just going to. I don't know if they're ever going to get this whole like wheel versus controller thing on an equal playing field or whatever. Because it was like that with the NASCAR Heat games, to where the wheel users had a bigger advantage. My friend, I got a real good friend, and he was really good on the Heat games. And he was like one of the few people that can be fast on the controller. And then we got to NASCAR 25 and he's falling off. And I hope he's not watching this. But he has though. And he knows it. I've been trying to like tell him, like, dude, get on the wheel, because he has a wheel. Like, I bought him a wheel stand, I think as a Christmas gift like last year. He bought the wheel himself. He just needed a wheel stand. So me and my brother chipped in and we got him a wheel stand. And he's had the wheel for a couple of years, like even dating back to the Heat games, but he can never get used to it. And with this game, like he goes back and forth between controller and wheel, and he's faster on the controller, but he falls off on the long run quicker on the controller. And then on the wheel, he doesn't have the pure pace yet. And I told him, I was like, dude, you got to stick with it. Like, you got to just practice. Like, you're not gonna pick it up like right away. Like, it took me years to get quick on the wheel. Now, mind you, I started using the wheel like around 2016. So it's like 10 years of using the wheel now. But I just told him, like, you just got to stay with it. You can't bounce back and forth between a wheel and a controller, because you just want to get into a rhythm with the wheel, like just learning everything, like what you can do with the wheel and the gas pedal and all that. So and he's improving too, because we did a league race. It was another league we was part of for a little while, but we left it. And he found something at Iowa. He was running like the very top somehow, and he was making up ground. Like, I think he got to like second at one point. It was like 13 people in the race, so he was doing pretty solid. So yeah, I just told him, like, just stick with the wheel, man. Just try to improve. But yeah, man, like, I kind of hate that that's a thing though, like wheel versus controller and all that. If a former retired NASCAR driver came back to racing, who would you rather see come back to racing? I'm gonna say Ryan Newman and Matt Kenseth. It'd be kind of dope. I think it would be kind of cool if Ryan Newman can race one of those Dodge Ram trucks that Collie got going on. Because they could be having a driver in the a different driver in that all-star truck every week, just about. I think it'd be kind of dope if Ryan Newman ran, a former Dodge driver. If he can run in one of those truck races, it's competitive equipment, I think that'd be kind of dope. Hey, that would be you bringing up Ryan Newman just kind of made me thought about that. Um, I don't know if you were just talking about Cup Series, but I would like to see, you know, um, it could be any series, Xfinity, Truck, even ARCA. So yeah, but chat is slowing down. Everybody's kind of leaving out. It's getting kind of sort of late. 7:30 over here, but yeah, y'all, I'm gonna start heading out. I appreciate y'all so much coming in here. I think this is the longest stream I did in a long time. Like I said, Michael Watcher video, Michael Watcher underwhelming big break. It's coming in a couple of days, and then I got my 2026 NASCAR predictions video coming out, and then it's either gonna be some other video or it's gonna be the NASCAR 26 wish list. So got videos in the works, got some shorts in the works as well. Like always, I just got to speed it up, and I'm trying to. So far, I'm doing a good job of starting off the year being fast with the content. So, um, yeah. So I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm gonna do this again probably before the season starts. Definitely would be doing this whenever they reveal the point system. So just letting y'all know that right now. I could be coming on here celebrating, or I could be coming on here losing my goddamn mind. I'll try to control myself though, but that's gonna be difficult depending on what they do. But yeah, I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate y'all, um, taking the time to just listen to me ramble for 2 hours and 31 minutes. So, um, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll up out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.